Hi, this is John Ashburton, and welcome to your step-by-step guide to successful police selection. If you've accessed this video via the Police Preparation Australia website, then by now you will have also received your email with access to your first basic police quiz. And if you haven't already, I do urge you to go back to that email and take that quiz. It'll take you all of about 5 minutes. And that quiz will really give you a great idea of where you're sitting in terms of your preparation for the cognitive or aptitude testing component of police entrance exams. Now, before we get started on today's activity, I just want you to stop for a second and imagine the following scenario. It's 2 years from now and you've graduated from the police academy and you're out on the street driving in the latest police patrol vehicle. Suddenly, the police radio crackles to life, detailing an urgent request to attend a Code 15. Your partner brings up the onboard computer and reads out the details that a lady is reporting an intruder in her house. You also see the electronic map display showing your vehicle is the closest to the scene, only some blocks away. Your partner gets back on the radio and requests permission to take a priority attendance to the job, and you hear the radio operator come back with permission to do so. On hearing this, you fire up the lights and sirens on your car and head towards the address at speed. You feel that familiar surge of adrenaline as you run through the potential options with your partner on how best to approach this situation. And this is not an unfamiliar scenario for general duties patrol work, whether on day or night shift. And it's just one example of the range of challenges you will face as a police officer. Now I'd like you to imagine a very different situation. This one much closer to today. Imagine it's the day of your police entrance exams, in this case the written exams, and you've completed the testing and you're walking out of the room at the end of the day feeling utterly disappointed. You feel like you muddled your way through many of the questions and are not confident at all that your performance is going to be enough to get you through to the next stage. Worse, you realize suddenly that if you've failed today, then you're going to have to wait several months before you're allowed to have another go. And these results are now permanently on your application result. And you can't help but think that maybe you've missed out on an exciting career of community service as a police officer. Now, between these two scenarios we've just presented, ultimately which one occurs is going to come down to your preparation prior to your exams. So, what will you get here at Police Preparation Australia? Well, we're starting you off here with a 3-step process to successful police selection. And this is just the beginning. The 3 steps being, first, identifying your reasons for becoming a police officer, and we'll talk about why that's important shortly. Second, identify where you are in terms of your preparation for each stage of testing. And then thirdly, take action to prepare yourself and optimize your results through every single stage of selection. You might also wonder why it is I've put together this package. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Firstly, being my own experience of going through selection and then later at the academy, I met quite a few people who were very interested in becoming police officers who either never applied or went through the selection and failed in the tests. And I noticed that it appeared these people may have been quite suitable police officers, but simply either didn't have the courage to go forward or didn't have the know-how of how to successfully take tests, how to prepare for tests, and turn that into a performance on the day that will actually get them over the line, into the selection pool, and onto the academy. Second of all, I noticed in my police career that there are a number of people who went into a police career who were good at taking tests and made it through selection, and then shortly after making it either to the academy or shortly after graduating, realised that this just wasn't the job for them and they hadn't really thought things through. And then some of these people still go on to police careers, albeit just turning up for a paycheck. And that sort of motivation for turning up as a police officer, not only is it not helpful, but it can be downright dangerous to the other officers they work with. So I have a couple of reasons for helping you out here. One, helping you clearly decide whether or not this is a suitable career for you, and if it is, giving you the tools, techniques, and strategies to identify your areas of weakness, prepare for them, and optimize your actual performance on testing day. Alright, so you've heard me ramble on a little bit. Now you'd like to get started onto the process. Well, here we go. Step 1 in your 3-step process to successful police selection is all about your reasons for becoming a police officer. Now the fact is, there is a lot of work to do in your preparation coming up. And it's very important that you have alignment within yourself about why you're doing this, what's this all about, and what's so important to you about becoming a police officer. These reasons are going to be what gets you up early or helps you stay up late so you can practice that beep test, prepare for that exam, or go through your own psychological preparation for the coming interviews. To paraphrase the great philosopher Nietzsche, basically, if you have a strong enough reason for doing something, then the hows take care of themselves. So, what's your reason why? Well, to help you out with this, I've also included in today's email a link to a free download for you of a sample, an extract if you will, of the ebook Becoming a Police Officer. This part of the ebook will take you through an activity to help you decide what are your reasons for becoming a police officer, and do these reasons stand up to a few tests I'm going to give you to help you decide whether or not they're really going to get you through selection, and whether or not they're reasons that really will satisfy you in terms of a long-term career. The other consideration to make when looking at your list of reasons is how's it going to stack up in the actual recruitment interviews. If you look at it from the perspective of the recruitment officer, they're going to be interviewing hundreds of potential applicants. And you can imagine there's going to be quite a bit of overlap in what people tell them as to why they want to join the police. And if you've only got just a couple of reasons and they're fairly default to what a lot of other people will say, it's not really going to make you stand out. If, however, you've really sat down and thought about this and you can reel off a dozen reasons about why it's so important to you to become a police officer and why you're suitable for it, then you're really going to stand out to that recruitment officer as someone who's properly thought this through and isn't going to sort of phase out halfway through the academy or only last a couple of years in the job because they didn't really think about what this career would mean for them. All right, as I'm sure you've heard before, knowledge on its own is not enough to make a difference. It's very important that you back up everything you learn by taking action. And today's action is very simple. Go back to the email you received, click the link that will give you access to the extract from Becoming a Police Officer, and complete the activity there about your personal reasons for becoming a police officer. Please take the time to do this. It's very important. This is the sort of activity that will stop you from making a huge mistake into a career that's not suited for you. And it's also very important for those of you who are on the way to becoming police officers to really give yourself strength, motivation, and personal inspiration to keep going when things get difficult, not only during police selection, but during the academy and beyond. The next step in the process to successful police selection is going to be step 2, identifying and prioritizing your areas of development in your preparation for police exams. Details on this step 2 will be coming through to your email in the next couple of days, so keep an eye on your inbox. In the meantime, please go back to today's email, click the link, access your activity on your own police reasons, and spend 5 to 10 minutes writing down exactly why it's so important to you to become a police officer.